guys, it's Jessica from Peace Love Books, and today I'm here all in the fall vibes to talk about my fall TBR. So I have posted a September TBR, which is different than my fall TBR because these are all books that I want to read over the next 3 months that I feel like would get me really into the fall cozy vibes, and I'm very excited. I have some new releases. I have some that I've already gotten out on audio. I have some cozy mysteries. I have some fantasy. I have some paranormal. I have everything on this list, and I'm so excited for it. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I have a few that I don't own, but I'm gonna talk about them and then I'll get to the ones that I own. The first one's Wickedly Yours by Jennifer Chipman. This one I'm pulling up her post about it. Book 2, so I loved Spookily Yours, and so we met these characters in book 1, and it is a fantasy romance, marriage of convenience, fated mates, and apparently there's like my wife moments in here, so they have to get married, and you know that from book 1. He's a demon prince. I cannot wait to read this. The cover's cute. The first one was super cozy spooky, so obviously very excited to read this. Julie Olivia is coming out with one that looks so fall. It's like When Harry Met Sally vibes. It's called If It Makes You Happy. So this one is like if you like single dads, if you like Gilmore Girls, small town. So he's a single dad baker. I believe that they live near each other. There was something about like a bed and breakfast. I think he owns a bed and breakfast. It's in Vermont. Autumn 1997. There's slow burn spice, friends to lovers, opposites attract. Like the cover screams fall, and I cannot wait to read this. The next one I actually just got out on audio, and that is The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches. I feel like we saw this a ton last year, and I just never got around to being able to read it. And the author actually has a new book coming out this year that I'm going to talk about in a second. So this one is an isolated witch who wants to embrace her new quirky family and a new love. She's one of the few witches in Britain, and so she has to hide her magic. She was an orphan, and she posts videos online pretending to be a witch, but she is a witch. And so an unexpected message arrives, so she travels to this mysterious house to teach 3 young witches to control their magic, and there's a handsome librarian there that she falls for. This sounds like the cutest thing ever. So I really want to read this. It's going to be one of my next reads. Actually, I do have it out on audio. Then we have My Roommate is a Vampire, which I actually have out on audio as well. I think this one actually came out last year too, and was one of the ones that was like making the rounds. So it looked cute, and I don't know if it has the best reviews, but this does say it's a debut romance, and she's an artist. She is on the brink of eviction, so she has to find a new apartment. She's like, there's gotta be a catch because it seems too good to be true, and her new roommate is far from normal. He sleeps all day, he's out all night, and he leaves her cute notes around the apartment, and obviously he's gonna be a vampire. So sounds fun. I want to read more paranormal. So then one I saw a lot around that I've never actually heard anybody read is The Unfortunate Side Effects of Heartbreak and Magic. The cover just looks so cute and cozy. Now, to be fair, it has really bad reviews, but I feel like some people might be hard on this book. So let me know if you've read it, because some of my friends gave it 4 stars. So this says if you like Gilmore Girls and Practical Magic, and it is about our heroine who she has the curse of 4 heartbreaks that accompanies her magic. So her grandmother is diagnosed with cancer, and her first heartbreak returns to town after a decade. So her life begins to unravel, and her estranged twin brother returns to town, and he brings back family secrets, and she's worried about their family falling apart. Feelings for her ex start to rekindle, and oh, I wonder if she like has to have 4 heartbreaks to get her magic, so she really can't rekindle that romance. Maybe I could be making that up, but this sounds really cute. The next one I'm like ridiculously excited for, and that is the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore, which is a sequel to the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. So this one, they actually like redid the cover and the title from what it originally was going to be when it published. It was supposed to publish before now, but it's being published. I think it already came out, and I'm just waiting for my pre-order to ship. This one is a romance at a bookstore, and there's a secret message that turns up in a hidden book in her bookstore, and she can't understand it, and she follows the trail of clues. She needs someone to help her out. So the gorgeous and outgoing fisherman Noah shows up, and they go kind of on a scavenger hunt together, and he's been crushing on her for months. So they were really cute in the first book, and I'm really excited to get back to this town, and this series just screams fall, so I'm very excited. Okay, so now I have my whole TBR of physical books next to me, which is a lot, so I'm gonna go through them. We have some cozy mysteries, and I'm very excited for these. These are all fall themed. So the first one I cannot wait for is Murder at the Pumpkin Pageant by Darcy Hannah. This is the Teacups and Murder Book Club book pick of the season, I guess, that Samantha and Spencer run, and I'm very excited. So it's Halloween weekend in Michigan, and someone's about to spoil all the fun because this is about the bake shop's owner, and everyone thinks her lighthouse home is haunted. She lets her friend host a live ghost hunting investigation in the lighthouse, and then things take a terrifying turn because a dead body. So they gotta solve it. Sounds so cute. I'm excited for that. Then I do have The Cider Shop Rules by Julie Ann Lindsay. This one is a cider shop mystery, and it takes place over Halloween. So there are pumpkin patches. She has a grandmother named Granny Smith. Someone is found dead hidden under a tarp in the back of Winnie's pickup truck, and he is one of the town's most popular people. So they're like, why is he dead? So they end up finding out what happened. I can't tell. Oh, her name is Winona, but she goes by Winnie. So that is that romance, so another dead body. Then we have Death by Hot Apple Cider and Death by Pumpkin Spice by Alex Erickson. So these are both a bookstore cafe in Ohio, which is where I live. So this one, they team up with a local library for a seasonal celebration, and someone ends up dead. So he dunks his head in the apple bobbing booth and doesn't come back up. So there's that. And then in this one, it says that a woman is found strangled to death in a room full of jack-o'-lanterns. So it's just there is a crime of passion involved. These sound so fun. So those are the 4 cozy mysteries. I would love to read this season and possibly a little more. We'll see. Then I have a bunch that I've gotten recently that I just definitely need to read. So the first one is Haunted Ever After by Jen DeLuca. So this one is at a seaside town in Florida, which I'm like, is it going to be super fall? But he owns the Hallowed Grounds coffee shop, embraces the ghost tourism that keeps the economy afloat, and she bought a flipped historic cottage in Boneyard Key, and there's something weird about her new house. He, I guess, owns the coffee shop in town, and her house is haunted. So this sounds fun. I'm excited to read it. Then I have Love and Other Conspiracies by Mallory Marlowe. So this one is a paranormal conspiracy theorist and a web series producer fall in love. She is dumped by her hotshot ex and has no new series to work on, so she needs to get one to have a job. So she sees a handsome guy and they're discussing Bigfoot, so they decide to make a show about that and fall in love. This sounds fun. I'm excited for that. This one, the cover screams spring and summer, but she's dead. So the love of my afterlife, and I've seen so many people reading this recently, and she dies and she meets the one in the afterlife waiting room. So they start to chat, they fall in love, and then she's offered a deal where she can return to Earth and reconnect with this man. She's got to find him. So I don't know if it's necessarily super fall, but like the fact that she's dead and like gets a second chance at life, that feels fall to me. Then I do have a Werewolf's Guide to Seducing a Vampire, which, just look at that. I feel like that just looks so fun. I love all the plants, and this one is he is a werewolf and everything's fine. He's got his business, which is a plant emporium. He does have an anxiety disorder. Like, who has time for romance? So he's approaching 40 and he drunkenly bids on and wins a possessed crystal on eBay, and he comes face to face with a beautiful, angry vampire. So she's a vampire succubus, and she's stuck in the crystal since she was 30, forced to obey orders from the possessor of the rock. So she was very offended when she was sold for 99 cents on eBay. And so they fall in love. This one sounds actually really fun. It's actually really long, but I'm really excited to read this. And then one that I haven't gotten to yet, which I really need to, I still haven't read Bride, but I feel like it is the perfect book for fall. It is a vampire romance and a werewolf. So she's a vampire bride, he is a werewolf. They have to get married, and I feel like everybody's read this about me. So definitely at the top of my TBR, specifically for September. Then I do have Morbidly Yours, which is also on my September TBR. This one, he works as an undertaker, and this is in Ireland. And so he digs graves, and she is a Texan animator, and she moves to Ireland to restart her life and career. He has to get married in order to inherit his family's undertaking business. So I think it's a marriage of convenience, and it just looks so cute. and I think like perfect setting for fall. Then I do have an arc of this. It comes out in October. It is If I Stopped Haunting You by Colby Wilkins. So this one, she had thrown a book at a best-selling author, so she is now a publishing pariah, and she's had writer's block since then. So she decides to go on a writing retreat to a Scottish castle, and obviously she goes. She's like, I have to go. And he wants nothing to do with her. He's the one she threw a book at. So he is trying to avoid her, but now they are trapped in a real life ghost story. That sounds so good. I love a spooky Scottish haunted setting. And then the last one I want to read that is contemporary is a romantic suspense, and that is Bourbon and Lies by Victoria Wilder. My friend Christy read this and she said it actually kind of got like a little spooky romantic suspense. So this one's in Kentucky, and anybody who ever dated a Fox brother usually ends up dead. And so she is a beautiful stranger who showed up in town. She's lying about things and like her lies unravel. So that's all I know. It's a very vague synopsis, but I love romantic suspense. I've heard nothing but amazing things about this book, so I really want to read this in the fall. And then I have a stack of fantasy we're gonna get to. So first, I should have read this a while ago and I haven't yet. What the River Knows by Isabel Ibanez. Very mummy-esque. It is historical, and they have to go to Egypt, and her parents had died. Her parents are the ones that usually like globetrot and go all around. They're archaeologists. They die. And so she ends up being able to travel with her guardian, who is a mysterious archaeologist. And she is like led into this world, and it's The Mummy Meets Death of the Nile. Sounds perfect for fall. I'm gonna finally read this because The Mummy is one of my favorite movies. I would love to read the second book to Bonded by Thorns. So these are The Beast of the Briar, and these are a Why Choose Beauty and the Beast retelling. And so she falls for the four princes, and they are beasts. They like curse to turn into beasts at night. And I need to read book 2. Book 4 is coming out soon, so I have to catch up on the series. I love this series. The book 1 was so good, and she lives in this enchanted castle, and I need to read more, and I think the villain's actually going to become a love interest too, so I'm very intrigued by this. I need to read it. Then we have Spark of the Everflame by Penn Cole. I don't know what these are about. I just know that there's magic. Her mother disappears, and she has to try to find out what happened to her mom, and then the Dying King's handsome, mysterious heir is there as well, and there's a rebel alliance. So people love this book. They love the series. I think they love book 2 better than book 1, but I'm excited to read this. I also still have to read Throne of the Fallen. I have not read this yet, and I feel like I'm gonna love it. And the second one comes out in October. I've seen people really enjoy it, and I did enjoy her Stalking Jack the Ripper, I believe, that she wrote, and I did enjoy that, but I did not enjoy her other series. So we'll see how I feel about this. But a dark prince is battling an impossible curse, and she is the artist who will be able to set him free. So very chunky. Hopefully I enjoy that. I also really need to read One Dark Window. All I know is that this is a very like gothic fantasy, and there's only 2 books, so there's only 2 I'd have to get through to be reading this. And this is also actually, I believe, on my September TBR. I don't remember, but she meets a mysterious highwayman. That's all I know. I really know not a lot about fantasy that are on my TBR. So I also have Blood and Steel by Helen Schworer. I've heard amazing things about this one too. Her death has been foretold, and she only has 3 years to become what she's always dreamed of being, a warrior legend. So that's exciting. So she trains, and she has a warrior chaperone, and I'm assuming that they're gonna fall in love. So I'm excited for this one. And then the last series on my TBR is going to be the Belladonna series. We have Belladonna, Foxglove, and Wisteria. I'm actually going to be buddy reading these with my Patreon for the month of September, so they will for sure be getting read, and people really love this series. I think it has to do with some poison, and they don't love Foxglove. I feel like people did say this read very much like a bridge book, but people loved Belladonna. I see it recommended all the time for fall read, so highly anticipated for me, and I will for sure read them in the fall. Those are all the books on my specific fall TBR, meaning I'm going to be reading them over the next 3 months. Let me know what you're excited to read in the fall. I would love to hear if there's anything that you're like, this screams fall, you have to read it. Please let me know. And if you've made it this far, leave me a... I don't even know. I keep on asking for, oh, leave me a ghost emoji, because I've asked for apples and leaves and pumpkins already in a lot of videos. So leave a ghost emoji for me if you've made it this far. And that's all I have. As always, thank you so much for watching, and have a good day. Bye.